This is the DWP. You know what's going to happen. I'm going to tell you what's going on. We talk about high school and we talk about jobs, and that's what we do today.
I'm Tommy Dillon. I'm Matthew Winkler. This is our podcast, DWP. Let's go!
And clap.
Oh my gosh, we were clapping.
We were clapping. Hey,
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
I'm good, man. How are you?
What is this?
This is the Dillon Winkler podcast.
And who the fuck are you?
I'm Tommy Dillon. Who are you?
I'm Matthew Winkler.
Oh, yes, he is. Yes, he is.
I am.
He's
How-
rocking the Leafs jersey.
I'm wearing the Leafs jersey today. They've been doing pretty well.
I don't watch hockey as much as I used to.
What was your? Did you have a team growing up? Were you like a Leafs fan?
Here's the thing: I had players. I was
Yeah,
I was a
dope.
Leafs fan because my mom's a Leafs fan. My dad's a Bruins fan.
Okay.
Because my dad really liked Bobby Orr.
Right, one of the best.
But I was obsessed with three players as a kid.
Oh my god, let's see if they're the same as mine because we're the same age-ish.
Yeah.
So we
I'm a
grew up in the
little
same
older than
era
you.
of music. I'm sorry, music of sports.
So
So like the mid, so we'll say like the early '90s to the early.
I'd
to the-
say like mid to late 90s is
Yeah.
yeah.
Great. Okay, you give me yours, and I'll give you mine.
And I'll start with two, and I'll give you my favorite:
Okay,
Joe Sakic,
love it.
Steve Yzerman.
Yep,
Number one,
Mark Messier.
Eric Lindros.
Oh, of course.
yeah,
Oh man, those are like the captains of that time.
yeah. I was obsessed with the Flyers because I was obsessed with Eric Lindros.
Yeah.
But
Well,
my
how did you
mom's-
feel when he was on the Leafs and barely
I
able to
barely-
move?
Yeah, I didn't even
Yeah.
care. I was like, Lindros is a Flyer.
He's a Flyer forever.
Yeah, Legion of Doom.
That
But,
was with John
Mark
Leclerc and
Recchi?
Mark Recchi and John
Yeah.
Leclerc,
Yeah.
and they were like that was like their top line.
Oh yeah, and they were
Bruisers.
brutal. Just beat the
Just
shit out of people.
bruisers.
But yeah, my mom's favorite player is Wendell Clark. You got the Clark jersey on.
That's what I'm doing.
Now I have.
Hey, can I say my top three?
Sorry. I'm sorry. Of course you can. I'm sorry.
Can I say my piece?
You know what? Say your piece with your mouth. Say it with your mouth.
Patrick Waugh.
Oh yeah, I actually remember when I was a kid when the Avalanche won the cup. I stayed up with my parents watching it.
That's the best.
Yeah,
Patrick Waugh. You got Pavel Bure.
Pavel Bure
And my number one, Dougie G.
Dougie G.
Dougie G.
Well, you're gonna like this then. So
You have a story?
I have a story.
Oh my god, this is how podcasts work. Peek
So,
behind the curtains.
when I was a kid,
Yes. I'm gonna lean back. I'm gonna lean
Yeah,
back.
no,
and have a bit
lean
of
back.
coffee. Yeah.
This is-
Is this
okay.
gonna be a while?
it's gonna be. So I was like 12 or 13,
Yeah.
and I was playing tackle football during a blizzard, wearing shorts and a t-shirt for whatever reason.
As one does.
And I got
does.
pneumonia mixed with an asthma attack, and I was rushed to sick kids hospital.
Oh,
I was in
damn.
sick kids for like 2.5
And
weeks.
so say your age again.
I was like 12 or 13.
Okay.
And so I don't. When you're in, at least back then, when you're in sick kids for a long time, you get your own room. I had Super Nintendo. I got a menu. So
You had the super kind?
I had Super Nintendo.
That's dope.
So I was playing Earthworm Jim a lot.
Oh,
Right.
okay. We'll touch on that. That's the whole other episode. That's a whole other.
But then, after like a week or two, the nurse comes in and she's like, "Hey, we heard you're a hockey player." I was like, "Yeah, I am a hockey player." They're like, "Well, we got 3 guests who want to come say hi to you."
Come on.
So in my room walks.
Come on.
Are you ready for this?
I know you're gonna say 2 of them that I know. That
Peter
I know.
Zezel,
Okay.
the face-off
No.
king of the Leafs.
I'm gonna-
Peter
I'm gonna say-
Zezel.
End of list.
Hold on.
Like you
no,
say-
no.
No. I don't care who they are. I don't care. Wendell Clark, but Doug Gilmore. You go. The Zez is in the house.
Yeah.
Everyone else, there's the door. I want to chat with the Z-Man.
All right, Peter Zezel,
Yeah.
followed by Wendell Clark,
Mm-hmm.
followed by Dougie Gilmore.
See, that's the Toronto trifecta.
But hold on, this is what happened. Peter Zezel fucking walks right past me. He ignores me, and he goes and sits on the windowsill, just is looking out the window. I'm starstruck. I'm like, what the fuck?
Zessel's looking out my window.
He's just sitting looking out the window. He didn't even acknowledge my existence.
That's why he's a face-off king.
And then Wendell Clark comes up.
Yeah.
And I'm playing Earthworm Jim. And he's like, "Can I have a go?" And he just takes the controller and he starts playing Earthworm Jim. And he's making kind of small talk, but he stole my controller.
Yeah. He's playing. Yeah, he's playing.
Doug, so when you're in sick kids, I ordered pizza for lunch. I had a little mini pizza, like remember like the McDonald's pizza, like the tiny, like 4-person.
Oh,
pizza.
I remember the McDonald's pizza.
Doug Gilmore, motherfucker! I'm a sick 12-year-old kid in the hospital. He goes, "You gonna finish that?" And he ate my pizza.
These guys, see, this is pre-social meds, guys. This is pre-social meds.
And then they're like, "Get better soon, bud." And then they gave me like little glossy pictures that were obviously signed before they got printed, and then they just left. And I'm like, "What the fuck was that?" I was like, and then that's when I started hating hockey. I was like, "Fuck these guys!" And then I stopped. Well, no, I stopped playing hockey a couple years later, but I was like, "Fucking what the?"
That
fuck?
is okay. Legends. First of all, Stone Cold legends. First of all, they're
Stone
legends.
Cold legends.
Secondly, they didn't treat you very well, and I apologize for that. I apologize for that.
No, one ignored me, one stole my video game, one ate a sick child's pizza.
You know what? Those are long days for them. Okay.
Yeah, no, yeah.
What did you do that day?
I was lying in bed with pneumonia.
Guess you shouldn't have been playing sports in your shorts there,
Yeah,
bud.
well, yeah, I guess that was my fault.
They probably went like, what's this kid have? And like the severity of the illness, they get more like, like nicer. And
Oh
like,
yeah.
oh, this kid just got pneumonia from playing outside. It's like, fuck, I need to eat this kid's. Watch me eat this kid's pizza.
He's like, "Watch this, guys. Watch this."
I need his pizza. And it's just like, you're gonna eat his pizza? He's like, guess what? I'm not even gonna look at the fucking kid. I'm gonna go stare at the fucking window.
They probably had bets going on. Before
Yeah,
they
and
came
Wendell
in.
Clark's like, how much do you think I could beat that level in that game? Whatever fucking game this kid's playing.
Yeah, that's how it felt. Yeah.
Let me have a go.
He had the handlebar.
Of course he did. I've met like some of the Latter-day Saints of the Leafs, like Darcy Tucker,
Oh yeah,
legend. Shane Corson, absolute just a gem.
just a beaut.
Joe Bowen.
Joe Bowen, not to be confused with Julie Bowen, the mother from Modern Family.
Yeah, please don't. I know they look a lot alike. Please don't confuse them. Please don't confuse them, guys.
So
That's cool. Yeah, I performed at the ACC like multiple times.
Yeah,
And I got to meet a lot of hockey players through that.
cool.
It was cool.
I think I stopped playing hockey like when I started high school.
I stopped when I got a drum set. Yeah, I was like 15. And I was like, I'm done. I started playing again. I play now on Sundays.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I mentioned that before.
So last winter, me and the lady wanted to go out skating.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, totally. Because I started skating when I was 2 years old.
So you know how to skate.
But then I was like, oh, wait, it's been 17 years since I skated.
Did you ankle burn or what? Were you a bender?
You can forget how to skate.
Oh, I know.
I couldn't skate for the life of me.
Really?
I couldn't stay up. I spent my entire life until I was 18 or so
On skates.
skating.
Yeah.
I literally couldn't even fucking stand. And she's like, "What is happening?" Because she played hockey in university.
Yeah.
And I literally couldn't. I was like fucking a newborn. I
That's
forgot.
wild.
And she's like, "We're gonna go again this year," and we haven't yet. But I don't want to.
Why don't you go more and get better at it?
Because it's cool. And I didn't.
Yeah.
How was high school for you? Were you weird in high school? Were you a fucking nerd like you are now?
What do you? You're getting triggered. I got a really easy in high school.
Yeah.
Oh my god, it was a free ride basically. But yeah, no, I didn't like. I was a music nerd, huge music nerd.
Yeah.
Spent a lot of my time in like the studios, and working on musics. But I was this kind of guy who could like hop around. I would hop around from like table to table at the cafeteria and
I
just
was the
like kind of
same way.
like chum around with everybody.
I was like popular enough where I was just like friends with everyone.
Yeah, like no one would beat me up.
No,
'Cause
I got
everyone
in
was
a
like, "That
bunch
guy's
of-
fine."
I got in a bunch of fights, but I was like,
Oh.
and I had my own tiny little clique, but I was just friends with everybody.
Yeah.
But my parents moved the summer after my grade 8 graduation. So like
Okay.
I was grade
Oh
8,
shit.
and then
Fresh start.
I went to camp, and I came back and like we have a new house, but it was far away, so I couldn't go to the high school that all my friends went to.
Oh no.
So I went to the high school that was closest to our place, and I didn't know anyone.
Oh, shit.
And I met my first friend,
Yes.
Brian, who was my best friend ever, R.I.P. But then
I know Brian.
Brian Cascanet, yeah,
Brian's a fucking legend.
the best man I've ever met.
Yeah.
Anyways, it was like the first 4 days of high school, and I was with him, and I see this girl, and he's like, "What are you staring at her? Do you think she's cute?" And I was like, "I don't know, man." He's like, "You want me to talk to her? I went to school with her. I know her. Hey, man, we just met. Trust me, I'll talk to her." I'm like, "Okay." This is my 4th day of high school.
Yeah.
So he walks over. It's like 15 feet away, and
Yeah.
I'm like trying not to look, and all I hear is this. That fucking guy? Are you kidding me? And laughed and walked away. And I was like, oh my God.
You hurt your heart.
It was my 4th day into a high school. I didn't know anyone. I had no idea except for Brian. But then it was fine. And then I met a girl, and I dated her for the rest of high school.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm keeping
Yeah,
her.
you're like, that's not happening to me
Yeah.
again.
But that high school was nuts. It was kind of weird because we were because my elementary school, my grade 8 class was only like 26 kids. So then
Right.
I went to high school, and there's like 2,000 kids.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck is
It's a
going
lot
on?
of people in
But
high
we
school.
used to cause a lot of shit.
Yeah.
So the way our high school was that there was a main building, and then they built a second building behind it, and they attached it by an indoor bridge.
Got it.
Okay. But like from the 3rd floor, against where the windows are, you could see down to the 2nd floor bridge. So what we did was we had a garden gnome, and we tied fishing line around it so we can hang it from the 3rd floor bridge to the 2nd floor bridge. But we're like, well, that's not enough. Let's all take turns pissing on it. So we all took turns pissing on this gnome, and then we hung it from the 3rd floor bridge to the 2nd floor bridge, and people would walk by and try to grab it, and then they get piss on their hands. And we're like, ah, got him! Anyways, there was this kid who just started in school. His name was Dickie. He was a real asshole. But he grabbed the piss gnome, and then he ripped it and fucking ran. So me and Brian were like, and my friend Brian, we were like, we got to catch this fucking kid. So we run, and we're going to run down through the doors, down the stairs, and beat the shit out of this kid and get our piss gnome back.
Yeah, because
Right?
I mean, you need it.
Yeah.
You have
So
to have it.
At the end of the bridge was, you know, those doors that are like the push doors with like the glass?
Yeah.
So me and Brian running, and we push the doors at the same time, but his arm goes up and through the window, and then he turns and falls and slides, and there's fucking blood everywhere. He has chunks of glass sticking out of his arm. So have you ever seen a movie called The Way of the Gun?
No.
Okay, so we watched Way of the Gun the day before.
Okay.
And in that movie, Ryan Felipe dives into like an empty fountain to avoid gunshots,
Right.
but it's full of broken glass. And then he just like pulls glass out of his arm.
Yeah, because you're like, that makes sense.
Yeah. So Ryan sat there.
Movies is
and
real.
he literally goes, "Way the gun," and starts pulling glass out of his arm. And I'm like, "What are you doing?" He's bleeding everywhere. Around the corner was our history teacher. His name was Mr. Speed. He was an ex-boxer. His name was Chris Speed. His daughter's name was Sterling. Not even kidding. But he runs around. He goes, "What's going on?" Lifts him up. And he was like 6'4", 6'5" in high school. He lifts him up and carries him down the stairs. And they take him to the hospital. And he got stitched up or glued up or whatever, and he was fine. But then I got taken to the office because they thought I threw him through the window. Now, I didn't reach 5 feet until I was in the middle of, like, the beginning of grade 11.
Yeah.
And he was 6'4".
Yeah.
And I
Brian's a
was
tall guy.
skinny and tiny. And I was like, so me, a 5 foot, 5 foot tall thing,
Yeah.
is going to throw this 6'4" man through a window? Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
And then I didn't get in trouble, but that's
Right.
what happened.
Wow. And he got cut up bad. And then he said, wave the gun, and started ripping glass shards out of his own arm.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Man, I danced on stage at high school once and I didn't have to go to class.
That's pretty good.
That's about it, man.
That's not bad.
I didn't do anything crazy. I mean, didn't really have friends, but like stuff like that didn't really happen to me.
There was when I was in grade 9, my first year of high school, there was a guy in his last year of high school.
Yeah.
I believe his name was Nesta.
Okay.
Now, there was like articles about it, like printed in the front foyer of our high school.
Oh, I gotta.
This happened.
I just remembered a story to tell you after this, and I
Okay.
gotta remember it. So keep going. Sorry, that reminded me.
So apparently, this guy Nesta and this other guy were racing down the hallway on the second floor in the math department. And
Never. Rule number 1: never race
never foot race in
in the
school.
math department.
Yeah. So they're
Specifically.
yeah, so this guy and they were running, and then Nesta was winning, and he went to stop himself on the wall at the end, but he went through the window. Out the window, front flip, landed on his feet outside. He was in shock. Like he stayed there, and he was like, and the ambulance had to come. He didn't break anything. He didn't sprain anything. He ran through a fucking window, front flip, landed on his feet. It was like the news.
Did he ever have to buy lunch for himself ever again?
Yeah, I guess so. But like that was the news articles are like in the front foyer of my high school and everything. It was fucking cool. He was like the king of school.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah. Until I showed up and I'm like, get out of here, scum.
And
There's a new boss in town.
and they looked at you and went, that fucking guy.
It came full circle.
There was this couple in our high school, and we all knew like they were like a couple. It was like this like really tall dude and this really short girl, and we'd like see them get into fights in the hallway, this and this. You know, they were just one of those high school couples.
Of course.
One morning, get to school. I'm like, I'm gonna take a quick pee before I go to class. I go into the guy's bathroom, and it's plastered with photos of his dick all over the men's bathroom with his name, his phone number. Yeah. And I come into the bathroom, I'm looking at him like, what? And there's like girls running down the hall with photos, like plastered in the girls' bathroom too. It was a huge thing. And this poor guy was called Needle Dick for the rest of his like entire
my God,
time.
really?
Yeah. But you know what? In my mind, in my memory, it wasn't bad.
Oh.
It was actually cool. It was a cool hog. Yeah, let's cut that
All
and
right.
start here.
What was your first job? In high school you started working?
No. Oh, I mean, yeah. Technically, that would be my first. Yeah, my first job was booking shows.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Where?
Cathedral and Reverb.
Really?
The Big Bop.
Oh,
Shout out to the Big Bop.
the Big Bop, the best venue of all time.
Of all time.
Yeah.
Worst sound guy.
Jake is the best. I love Jake. Shout out Jake.
I do love
Vinny.
Jake.
He's the
I do love
best.
Jake. He used to audio record your set for $20 or something like that. It was dope.
Yeah, it's rad.
That was sick.
What was your first real job? Did you have you ever had a real job?
Yeah. I worked retail for like 12 years.
Where?
Started H&M, and then Blue Notes, and then Hot Topic.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
I had weird jobs in between. I was a security guard for a ballet school.
the one over here?
No, it was a Young in Eglinton. That was hooked up by a member of the Avenue. He got me that job because he said I needed to buy a new keyboard. All the jobs I've had, like they've been given to me. No, I don't know. Retail was a big one because then I could like do shows at night.
Yeah.
Work during the day, shows at night, and then when I got to doing like 2 shows a week, 3 shows a week, I quit retail and I was like, I'm a music man now.
My first job, I was 12 years old, and
Damn.
I got hired by this lady who her sons went to my school. They were a little younger than me, and my job was after school. I just had to meet them after the after school program when it was done, and just walk them home.
I had that job too,
and I got paid $5 a day. So every Friday she gave me $25, and every Friday I walked home and I'd buy a chocolate milkshake from Harvey's,
dude.
And I'm like, I'm doing it. And then my first like real job was McDonald's.
You worked at McDonald's.
I worked at McDonald's.
That's awesome.
For a
See,
long time, for like a year and a half.
I don't know many people that worked at McDonald's, but
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of them out there.
There's tons of them.
Yeah.
There's one job I had that was really weird because I also near the end of high school, I worked as I did surveys. Like I called people for surveys, like telemarketing,
okay.
but not selling anything,
Yeah.
just doing surveys.
Yeah.
But then this is like probably in my early 20s. I was applying for a job at this call center.
Okay.
So I go in and they're like, here's a script. Okay. Basically it was like, hi, remember you applied for a vacation at the mall? Well, you won. So
damn.
you got a free vacation. All we need is your credit card number and the number on the back and your birth date and that, and then we'll send you the tickets for your free cruise. We just need your credit card info to book the insurance or whatever the fuck it was, right? So it was basically stealing credit card numbers from people.
Yeah. You were part of a giant heist of.
It was
of
a
many,
tiny
many people.
fucking room with like 3 tables and people's just sitting across from each other on computers and a script. And then if they had any pushback, you're like, "Oh, can you speak to my manager?" And you'd transfer them to the person beside you, and they'd explain to them there was a whole other script when they fought and didn't want to give them their credit card number.
Jesus.
And it was like $14 an hour or something like that. And every credit card number you pulled, you got $50 cash at the end of the day.
Of course you did, because they were getting like
Yeah.
$20K.
So I was like, I did
Depending on your credit rating.
it. So I was doing it. I did it for like 3 or 4 days. And I'm like, I'm not good at this.
Yeah.
I can't like, and I don't, my voice on the phone, I sound like a fucking child.
Hi man, remember when
I'm
you
like, hello, hey, can I have your credit card number? But then
Hey, man, what's
I
up,
think
dude?
I pulled like 1 or 2 credit cards in
Yeah.
the 3 or 4 days. So then it was the Friday morning. I went to the manager or the guy in charge or whatever, and I was like, look, I can't do this. I'm not good at it.
Yeah.
Can I just get like my pay for this week and I'll just leave? And he's like, you know what? We'll give you your paycheck for this week on Monday. This is not for everyone. We understand.
Yeah.
Come in on Monday, just grab your check. It'll be fine. I'm like, okay, totally. First red flag, it was on top of a money mart.
Okay.
Okay, in a tiny room. I show up Monday morning. I go upstairs, empty.
Oh, of course it is.
It's fucking gone.
Yeah.
And I never saw again. I never heard from him again. But like, yeah, there was like
They gotta move. They gotta move quick.
That was like real life scammers that I worked for. It was really weird.
That is wild.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Man, that's crazy. That reminds me of a job I had. I was like 16, 17, like just out of high school, so like 17, 18. And I was doing a gig, and someone approached me after and says, "Hey, we got this job if you want to try it." I was like, I'm always down to make some extra cash. He goes, "Okay. Tomorrow morning, we're going to meet at this corner. Bring a mask of your choosing, and we'll provide the firearms." I was like, "Cool, okay. That sounds great." So I go to the corner the next day, and they give me the gun, and they go, "We're going to go into this bank, and it's your job to put the gun in the air and say, 'Everyone get down.' I'm not fucking kidding. Everyone get down." And I was like, okay. So I go in there and I do it. I wave the gun around and say, "Get down." I don't fucking move. Everyone get down. And I got like, I don't know, $50K from it.
Did you just admit to robbing a bank on? Did you rob a bank, Matt?
Yeah, I just found a big quick bank.
Just robbed a quick bank. You're just gonna throw it out there like it's nothing.
Yeah, I was like 17, 18. Like, it was a bit juvie. I was like, okay, fine. I would have been in jail for like 3 years.
You went to jail for 3 years.
No,
for
I
robbing
would have if I got caught. I was like, I weighed the
so
options.
you didn't get caught for robbing a bank? In,
No. Yeah, $50K.
2005?
Would have been no 07, late 07.
So in
It was winter. It was winter, so like November 07. November 07.
So in November of 2007, you robbed a bank. And got away with it.
Yeah, I waved a gun. I said it wasn't really.
You were
robbing
crowd.
it.
You were crowd control.
Yeah, I guess it's crowd control. Yeah, I was like, I just made sure that no one got shot. I said, "Everyone get down, because if you move, you'll get shot." And like I was kind of like security for the people who were under that we were robbing. I mean, that we were collecting funds of which we were rightfully owed.
Oh, you were owed the money.
They were the people that were in there.
And
They
then-
said they did. They said they were owed the money.
And then you were just hired.
Yeah, there's one guy.
So you're a criminal. Let's just get that out there. You're a criminal.
Criminal.
Any
no,
other-
I wouldn't say I'm a criminal.
Any other crimes you want to fess up to while we're here?
If you cause someone to stop breathing, is that a crime?
Yeah, it's called murder.
Then I did it.